Ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful evening and we are right here at the Comfy Hotel. This is a beautiful place and we urge you wherever you are watching from, you can be coming here and have an amazing time. Today we are privileged to have an exceptional personality on set, and she's someone that is a mother and a family lady. She's also an entrepreneur and she does a lot of things. She's an interesting guest and I know that you will like her. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Maybe you can tell us your name.
My name is Eunice Odero. I'm a business lady in this town. At the moment, I own a bakery, it's Island Bakers.
Island Bakers.
Yes.
Munapika keki mbaya sana.
We do a lot of cakes for all occasions. So
yes.
If you ever need a cake, we are here.
Wow. So, Sister Eunice, maybe you can tell us your background, where you come from and all that.
Okay, that's great. I come from a place not so many people know. I'm from Suba.
Subaland.
Yeah,
it is very far.
From an island called Pangano Island.
Yes.
Not so many people have reached there. They don't even know it exists. But anyway, that's where I come from.
Okay.
And I think most of my primary education I took on the island. And I moved to mainland for my high school and college. Yeah.
Wow. So maybe do you have a family?
Yes, I do. I have 2 boys and 1 girl.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm still married.
Wow. You know, that is a very important part for you to declare. I know my crew here was like, you know. Wow. So maybe you can tell us about the Island Bakers, because there is where many people can relate with you. You've been doing cakes and all that. So how did this dream started?
I can't say I started with baking. I've done so many other things before this. I started with farming. Actually, when I first came to Eldoret, I loved the weather, and I started with farming. I used to hire like 50 acres of land and do maize, but things changed at some point. Everything became so expensive, the weather changed, so I stopped farming.
Yes.
At some point, I was running a salon and a cosmetic shop.
Okay.
I did that for some time. Then I realized it wasn't really that lucrative at that particular moment.
Yes.
I stopped that. I went into another business. I've done chicken farming too.
Wow.
I've done fish farming. So it's not like I started doing business yesterday. But I think it's a matter of finding something that really excites you.
Yes.
There's so many things to do, so many businesses to do. But what's that
there is this one
that you want to stick to, that makes you just want to go on. Because I've done all these, not that they were not bringing any money, but they did bring me a lot of money, but I wasn't really feeling excited. Like now we're being told, try to do something, find some business to do. It has to be something that makes you happy, not just anything. So then I started baking. I think when I gave birth to my first one, there were not so many places where they make cakes. So I started doing cakes for his birthday.
Yes.
I think the first one was just a cake mix from the supermarket. I did the first cake. The following year I did another one. Then I realized, oh, I can do this, and I think I love it. And I think if you are artistic, you do better with cakes. Hold
on. Let's put a comma there. We are coming there. So, you know, you shared that the first thing that moved you to start baking cakes is during your firstborn's birthday. And so, how was your life growing up in Suba? You know, it's not very known to many people. How was your life growing up?
Suba is a very beautiful place because it's an island.
Yes.
There's plenty of fish, and I think the education there is good. And it's a place where most parents really want their kids to go to school.
Yes.
So it's far from the mainland, but people would think it's just a remote area with no schools. Like every village has a school.
Yes.
And since my father was a high school teacher, he was very keen on making sure we cleared primary, went to high school. But at some point in class 5, he moved me to a boarding school. I think he
Yes.
did that because we were so many girls. So like 7 girls and 1 boy.
Wow.
So like growing up in the village, you want your children to go to school. You see, so he realized he could go to school on the island up to class 5. After that, you go to a boarding school outside, like on the mainland. So that, I don't know, they did help, but I think parenting also contributed. My mom was
Yes.
very strict. And he made sure we went to school. And give a credit for that, you see.
Wow, and you know, you've mentioned that you were a family of 6.
No, we are 8.
A family of 8.
Yes.
1
7.
boy and 7 girls. I know growing up in such a huge family is not a joke. How was it growing up with are you the firstborn?
No, I'm right in the middle.
You are right in the middle. So how was it growing up?
It was fun. For me, I was right in the middle. I could be ignored or
Underlooked.
It was like there wasn't so much attention on me growing up. But it was fun because we had this a very good mother who was very, like, she really insisted on discipline.
Yes.
We had to like discipline each other. And then I think it was just because we also had like a duty roster and whatever we had to do. So the firstborn could give instruction and everybody else follows.
Yes.
So that gave us like a hierarchy
Of
so
doing
she didn't have
things.
to really do much.
Yes.
My dad was a high school teacher, so it was not like he was there constantly. I was on, off, going to wherever he was teaching. But my mom did a lot to help us feel comfortable.
And how was it, you know, when you were growing up? Did you really think that what you are doing right now is what you wanted to do? Maybe, you know, when children are young or people when they are coming up, they have visions, you know. Me, I wanted to be a lawyer. And I'm a lawyer because I'm not a qualified lawyer. I'm a lawyer in my own rights. So is that what you wanted to do when you grow up?
No, I didn't really want to. It never crossed my mind that I'd be a baker. But I think I was very athletic.
Yes.
And I was involved in any sport that could come up, even new ones. I'd be the first one to be called to try it out.
Yes.
So I was very athletic. So actually, I wanted to join the army. But I think my parents didn't see anything much
See it
in that.
happening, yeah.
Yeah, so they pushed me away from that. They sent me to go study in the US.
Yeah.
So I went there, started my college.
So maybe you can be specific. When was this time that you were going to the US for study?
1 year after high school.
1 year after high school.
Yes.
Which year was this?
This was around 201.
201.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Right now I'm 40, so
aha. And you still look so nice.
now you have to work on that.
Okay. So now you've just finished high school and now you're going to a foreign country. You've never been there, or you've been there initially?
No, I hadn't been there. It was tough because even visiting Nairobi, I could count how many times I've gone there. But as long as you have a brain and you know how to read,
Yes.
I think
You can get lost. Absolutely.
It's a matter of communication and you just get used to everything with each other.
So how was life in America?
It was good. I mean, it's tough and good at the same time. But what I have to say, if you have money, life is better back here.
Back at home in Kenya?
Yeah, back in Kenya life is better because you can invest. You have the room to invest. When you're out there, I think it's like hand to mouth constantly. And growing becomes almost impossible.
Yes.
So here, and then you see here, you go to work at 8, you can leave at 5. There somehow, every penny counts. So you want to work day and night. And it's not really fun if you have to work so hard.
Yes.
And if you don't work hard anyway, you won't progress. But if you have money, I'd advise any young person to invest back here because you can easily, there's so much room
For growth.
for growth. Or
Wow.
even starting any business. It's easy to start here, not out there.
And so what is this one thing that, I mean, for you going to America really turned around about your life?
Actually, I went to America, then left. I went to the UK, then came back home. it really did help to open up my mind. You see, seeing other people, interacting with people from different cultures, different kind of life, you have to somehow, your brain has to somehow open up.
Sure.
And you learn so many new things. I think that really helped me, like, really look at the world differently. So for me to do that, then come back home to start my business and build a home here, have my family here, I think it was like going there opened my mind. Then when I came here, I was looking at things differently, and I could easily do business.
And you know, so many young people are fighting to go to America. They want to go out of the country. You know, when everyone finishes school, even those ones that are working class, they are always considering to go to outside the country.
Yes.
What advice can you give to them?
It's a good place to go to while you're still young, and you have room to, like, try things out. You see, let's say you are my age now, and you want to go start a new life somewhere. I think it's like bringing yourself, like, down. Let's say you're a nurse in Kenya. You want to go to the distance, be a nurse there. You're really stable here. You can get loans from the banks and really start up something.
Yes.
When you go there, you're starting like you're starting afresh. And then you have to work for some years for you to be able, let's say if you want to really come back home and invest, but if you don't want that, you'll be stuck there. That's why you realize some people don't come back home, because it's tough. Yeah.
So, I mean, from what you are saying, would you advise these young people to just go and get the education and then come and invest back home?
Yeah, I would say that. But I see now you're having trouble with the job industry. The job industry. There are no jobs for you. And everybody's saying, open up a business. What kind of business? You see, somehow we need to be taught how to run these businesses. Or you go to a college where you just do an overview on different types of businesses, or to see if you can really find something you enjoy.
Yes.
But otherwise, I'd advise any young person to go study, then come back home. Or, because big business out there is difficult.
It's very difficult.
They can find a job that really pays well and satisfies their living. They can do it out there.
Wow.
But for me, life is easy here.
And so I'd post you somewhere. So you were telling me how the passion for baking came up, and so you told me that during the first birthday of your son, that's when the interest, and you started baking. So did you ever go into school, or it's something that you just was self-taught? You just learned by yourself?
When I was in the US, I studied a bit. Actually, I worked in a bakery for a short while.
Okay.
And since I love eating cakes, now I don't eat much cakes. So you see, if you love something, you have to know how to make it, so that if you can't buy it, or if you want to cut down on expenses, you make it yourself. So
yes.
I loved going to some bakery, and then I got a job there, worked for a bit, and it was nice just seeing what they do. See that I did, but that didn't really spike my interest at that moment.
Sure.
Because I came started so many other businesses before I could get into the cake business.
Yes. And so, can you say that cake business is booming? Because now you even have a school. You don't not only bake the cakes, but you also teach how to bake the cakes. Is it booming? Does it bring enough?
I don't know how to put it, but you see, I've made myself a jack of all trades.
All trades, sure.
And as much as I do cakes, I do other things too. But it's true, the cake business has money, but you really have to be able to do a good job, not just bake and sell. Can you pull off like any design a customer gives you?
Yes.
See, that's really matters.
So that needs creativity.
It needs creativity. So
yes.
I hear people say, hey, bakery, let's just learn how to bake for me. But can you sit down, look at a design, and be able to construct it exactly the way it is? I think that's where the difference is.
Yes.
So for me, I've been training for so many years, and there are people I've trained who have not done much with the knowledge, but whenever I train,
yes, I
try to make sure the person gets like enough knowledge to at least get them started, and actually encourage people to start from the beginning, like from the lighter version of the baking.
Yes.
So that then they take a break, ask themselves if they're still interested in baking. Because somehow you have to gauge yourself.
Yes.
Do something, take a break, as you said, do I really love this? Do I still want to do this?
Yes.
Then if they still do, they come back, I teach them some more. I don't want just to teach for the money, but I want people to gain something out of it.
Wow. And that moves me to something, you know, most people are doing jobs that they don't like, and so they're just doing it for money. But here comes an instance that you want to do it not only for fun, for money or finances, but you're also doing it as a passion, because you can only be creative with something that you love. So, I mean, I know there are so many people that have come to the school, and others had passion, others the opposite is true. And so, I mean, how long first does it take you for one person to know how to bake?
We even have 2 weeks
courses.
Yeah, so that's the first package that I offer for anybody who doesn't know how to bake. Like bake basic things like vanilla cake, queen cakes, muffins. At least if you can learn those, you go home and practice them for a few days.
Yes.
And still feel like you want to do some more. That shows that at least you have some degree of interest and try to go into it.
So it's something that comes gradually. It's not something that is automatic, that is installed in you.
No, because also once you learn how to bake, you have
Yes.
to take your time and learn how to decorate the cake. And that's where now the challenge is. There are people you give a job and they're like, as long as I've finished it.
Yes.
They don't go like, I really need to go do a neat job here. I really need to do a good finish so that this customer comes back. Because they don't have that confidence. Actually, you also have to have confidence to convince the customer that I'll do this
And I'll do it well.
perfectly. You
Sure.
see? Yeah, so that also matters.
Have you gotten to a point that baking the cakes backfired on you one time or something like that?
Just maybe a little mishap here and there.
Yes.
Maybe you're mixing your cake, you forget to add something or something like that. But when it comes to like really doing cakes, I started gradually. I didn't just wake up and started doing it in bulk.
It was a process.
I've been doing it for almost 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been doing pole just to try to get to the level where I am now. And you gain experience. The more you do,
The more you learn.
yeah, and then the more complicated jobs the customers give you. Actually, I'm always ready to accept the complicated jobs, even at a reduced price. The challenges help you grow. You learn through the challenges. So I like being given like a challenging cake. Then I work on it even if I won't sleep. Just try to brainstorm on how I'll go about it.
Yes.
I'd rather do that, but do a perfect job.
Wow. And so, you know, you've driven my attention to something like you love challenges. You know, it's very hard for people. Some people consider challenges to be something that pulls them down. And so I know you've met different kinds of customers. Others will give you jobs, but give you an ultimatum. Maybe the time frame is small. How do you cope during such challenges?
First of all, you have to calm yourself down and not feel the pressure. If I say yes to a customer and say I can do this within 30 minutes or within 2 hours, I see that because I know I can do it within 2 hours or that 30 minutes.
It's within your abilities.
Yes, I can only say yes to what I can do. I don't want to lie to my customers. If it's going to take longer, tell them I'm taking this, but this is the duration it's going to take. Is that all right with you? If they say yes, that's all right. I have to try to work within that time.
Yes.
But the main thing is to calm yourself down, because most of the time we work under pressure. Sometimes it's a lot of work. You forget somebody's cake, it's supposed to be picked up at 9.
Yes.
It's 10 o'clock. Yeah, michelewa, you know that work. So the customer comes, maybe screaming, you're not doing a good job, you guys are not reliable. I still smile. Say I'm sorry.
So you know, sit down, be humble, okay?
In a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah.
There's this part that you know, some like maybe you find someone that is so gifted in maybe in baking or in whatever that they are doing, but you find that they don't have the PR. Like, how do you connect with these customers? This customer was supposed to pick their cake at a specific time. It has not happened that way because there are always some things that are avoidable. Maybe power went off, maybe there was something that happened. So how would you deal with such a customer? Or in such a scenario that the customer is over you?
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
But the customer is a human being.
Yes.
They should be able to reason unless there's something wrong with them. And on a regular day, sometimes we have bad days.
Yes.
And I know those happen, especially as ladies.
I know, mood
have
swings.
very bad days sometimes. So somebody comes, or you call them to let them know there might be a delay because of this and that. Something understandable.
Yes.
But they still get upset. I can't get upset in return. I'll still just be humble and tell them, I'm sorry,
Yes.
but we're working on it. It wasn't our fault. And then I try to explain. But if they continue to make noise and really get more upset, there's not much I can do because I don't control their brain, but I try to do the work and finish it. And
Yes,
see
on
them
time.
back. But you
Yes.
see, these happens, but these same customers will still come back.
Yes.
Because you didn't shout back at them, you didn't handle them badly. Because you see, I told you initially that I've done farming, I've done chicken farming, maize farming, and saloon and all those.
Yes.
When I was doing the maize farming, it was like 50 acres of land. And I had to work with the men, you see. So many of them.
You sure?
The farm was so big. Some would put you under pressure. They think Juni, they want to go, they're putting you under pressure to pay them.
To pay them.
I was only 27 when I was doing that. It was a lot of work. But still, I stayed calm under such situation. So I don't think it's very difficult to handle like one customer who is upset. If I know the mistake wasn't mine, I still try to be nice to them. But then if they're not too nice, it's a good try.
Sure, I get you. And so, how has the journey been? Because I've heard you mention that you've been doing this for over like now 10 years. How has the journey been?
It's been okay because I've been growing ever since. I've not been keen on opening like so many branches. But I believe once you're known, in the digital era, once you're known, actually, like now, most of my customers just call order cake. I don't see them. I don't need to walk around like opening so many branches, increasing my load of work and not really increasing sales because I think I'll be dealing with more or less the same customers.
Yes.
So I've seen a lot of growth and I thank God for that because it's through referrals too.
Sure.
Do a good job.
Someone refers you.
Yes.
Sure.
And that's how I've been surviving. I don't know, like 3/4 of my customers, they call me, they order cakes, I deliver, they tell me the cake was nice. We don't do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, you know, this is one venture that it's so hard for many young people because you went out of employment. Or have you ever been employed?
Yes, I have been. Worked for this company that was installing solar lights.
Okay, solar panels.
Street lights,
okay,
actually.
okay.
Yeah, for almost a year. It was difficult to sit in an office. I'm used to doing my things. So just sitting in one place doing the same thing
was limiting you.
Be able to manage, like, do my things the way I want them. So it was really difficult. And then I have children, they come first. I can't come to work early when my kids are not feeling well and they're not okay.
Yes.
I'll just tell you, my kids are not feeling well, I'm not coming to work early because they come first anyway. You don't get a photocopy of them.
Sure.
I think it was very difficult to do this. With business, it's that flexibility.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so how would you advise young people or people that want to venture into, self-employment?
There's no harm in that. But the question is, what is it that ticks you? What is it that gets you excited and makes you want to do that?
Yes.
And I think most young people want to go into self-employment, but they don't want to work hard. They want the easy ones.
Yes.
People don't want to work hard anymore. But otherwise, if you're ready to make your hands dirty, start from somewhere. Then as you graduate, you can just sit and write checks and wait for people to do the work. But you have to make your hands dirty first. Do the work physically.
Yes.
If I employ anyone to bake for me, they come in, they know I know how to bake. They have to always consult me, ask me, how do you do this? How do you go about this? So whatever business business you get into, you have to know how to do it. You can't start a business and you want to rely on the employees to do everything 100%.
For you, sure.
Then that's when you have trouble. But if you have an idea on how to do it, first, even if it's baking, go learn how to bake, open a bakery. Let's say don't let people work for you. If it's farming, go do it. Tell them this is how you do this. When you tell people that, they realize you know what you're doing.
Yes.
They'll do it better. But if you just sit there, you ask your employees, now you've employed them. They'll mess you up.
Sure. and you've said something that really triggered my mind on something, that you don't necessarily want to open many branches because you are alive to technology. You know, like now you can get phone calls because you've said you can have many branches, but it's not equals the sales.
It's just a lot of work.
It's just a lot of work. So, I mean, what is the importance of technology in all this?
Actually, it has just brought the whole world together. Like now I get things from China.
Yes.
And I'm just here. I can connect to customers. Actually, I get so many customers from Nairobi. They just call, tell me, my child is in Eldoret, I need a cake, or maybe Moistry, or Kitale, I want to do a cake, then send it to them, to wherever.
Yes.
Just through technology. They tell you, I found your number online, I found you guys on Facebook, found you guys on Google, business, wherever. And they call me, give me orders. So you see, it has really made business easy. But somehow, you have to do the work, not just sit down and get the order. The work has to be done.
I agree. And now this brings me now to the epitome of this. You know, when you're doing business, there must be profit in one way or the other. So I would really love you to be open with us about saving culture. Do you believe in saving culture?
Actually, I do a lot. I do my business. I have an account where my the payments going to. But I save with I've got a money market with the insurance company. I've got these saving plans like on Rachel, they have a good plan.
Yes.
So if you decide to save maybe 30,000 every month, save that money. You see? So I've got all these saving plans with this insurance company, with central bank. Just weka kidogo kidogo. It counts, it adds up to something. And forget about that money. You see, when you set it to save, just put it there and don't look at it. Later on, you'll benefit from it. Maybe you have a big plan in future and you can't get all of that money and do that project immediately.
Yes.
You can give yourself like 2 years. Then say maybe you save in with an insurance company or put your money with the central bank. They've got those payment, the bonds and the other things. Put your money there.
But make sure there's something.
Put something every month.
And so, you know, so many young people are spendthrifts, you know, and so when you receive this boom of money once, you want to dress well, you know, you want to slay, you want to go to these beautiful places, and so how do you balance between that?
It depends on what you want.
When you have money in your pocket and unapita pale barabarani, you feel like those boutiques are calling you.
I think you need to reach a certain level of maturity for you to not really get excited about money. The money should be there. Let's say you have a savings plan, you have a project, like a project you want to start in 3 years or in 5 years. Set your mind on that. When you get that money, let it go directly into the project. So you don't take a loan. See, loans really kill most of us. And they're everywhere anyway. So don't walk around with the money. Just have a card, even an account with the bank that doesn't have an ATM card.
Yes.
So that when you go to withdraw the money, you have a reason. You're withdrawing to pay for something, that business you've always wanted, but without taking a loan.
Yes.
You see, I think most people also run away from these small things. Like I told you, I've done chicken before, chicken farming. I had so many customers, they were calling until I had to block them because I was doing something else.
Yes.
Like, can I get 1 month-old chicks? Can I get this? And they wanted them, not that they were buying it from all over.
Yes.
See, and that's the time when not so many people are doing. Now they're everywhere. That time they were not there. See? So it's just a matter of deciding. I'm not really trying to be in a certain class. I want to do something to benefit me in the future. Because retirement pia sahi inakuja haraka. So we have to save for our retirement.
Yes.
And save for some future investment. So those are things you have to put in mind. Because dressing well, unaweza nunua mtumba ya 400 na ukipiga pasi, looks so nice.
Unatesa mbaya sana.
And you just walk work with confidence. I think you just need the confidence. That's what most of us lack. Yeah, just walk around and mind your own business. Don't worry about others.
I like that. I like that take, and that comes more with self-awareness. I mean, developing personal growth. I mean, self-development. And so, how have Corona affected you?
Big time actually. Business went down, but can't complain. There's no single week I went without doing any work. Even when we were at the peak, the customers would call me like, Eunice, are you still working? Like, I mean, just give me the order. You see, I only closed for one day. I don't know what happened that day. Maybe they announced it's bad. But my workers, I told them to stay at home, but I was at work.
Yes.
I have to lead by example.
Sure.
So that if I tell them the following day or the following week, you guys come to work. I've been at work.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. You have to make your hands dirty or lead by example. I can't stay at home, tell my workers, hey, lazima muingie kazi. Do it yourself first,
And then they'll follow suit.
Yes, and that's what I think most of us lack. You want to open a business, then sit down and command.
So that's the difference between a leader and a manager. And so how do you relate even with your workers?
Developing a story actually, they come in and at my workplace, I don't want to see anybody upset with the other. You have to be friends because you are working together. You have to work as a team. So if somebody is being bad-mannered or not talking to the others or they are quarreling, somebody will have to leave because I can't entertain that. But I get to the root of the problem.
You try to solve
it. Even if I find them arguing, I'll just stop them, then ask them, what happened? Then I listen to both sides. Then if one person is not being like
kind to the other one,
it's better they change or they leave. You have to make people work as friends, not that like enemies, like we are this person does this. No, let them be friends, then they work as a team. It's very important. I tell them that all the time. You have to work as your friends and you want peace here. Because when you're upset with each other, it's not peace at work and you don't want that. Yeah, because maybe home is worse.
I know, right? And so how also do you relate with your customers?
My customers. Those are my number one priority. I will listen to my children. But you see, these are the guys who keep you in business. They are the reason you're there. So you have to really make sure they are happy at all times. Let's say, for instance, I do a cake and the customer calls me and they're like, Eunice, this cake is not so good this time around. I'm like, please, let me replace. Let me do another cake for free. Just to
replace it,
I don't go like, lakini silikuwa mzuri, kwani shida ni nini? But there are some people who are generally bad. We are humans. There are people who say that about me. But I make sure my customers are happy.
Are satisfied, yes. Wow. And so, I know it's getting sweeter and sweeter and sweeter, and I know there's so much that we still want to talk about. I'm seeing my time, and the time is far much spent, and we have not even we have not begun. We are just at the preliminary level. And so I can also see interactions from our online sites, social media. I can see different people. So many people are commenting, following. You can check us on Speak Life Kenya. That is on YouTube, on Facebook and Instagram. Then make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching this, maybe you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure that you go to Speak Life Kenya, hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you hit that bell also, so that next time we're having a new program, it will notify you. So as we are concluding, what are the recreational activities, or you just at work from Monday to Monday? How do you spend time for yourself and maybe for your family?
We work from Monday to Saturday.
Yes.
Sundays we are closed. But then actually we do close at 6 on a regular day.
Yes.
Because somehow I tell people I have to go home and just watch TV or do nothing. Because if you don't rest, you'll burn out.
Yes.
See, working 24/7 doesn't mean you're making more money.
Sure.
When you don't sleep, or you get depressed or stressed out, you don't produce the same way.
The production goes down.
Productivity level goes down.
Sure.
So you see, you slow down. But when you have a good rest, go to bed early, do whatever you can do in them, but just try to relax. For me, I even tell my employees, when we finish work early or wake up on a certain day, we don't have much work. We can even close at 5. I tell them, Monday, go rest. It's important.
Wow. And so how do you spend your time? You are not in the office now, because I've visited in your office, and it's always a busy place. When you are not in the office, I mean, when you are, maybe you are not at home with the children, how do you spend your personal time?
Oh, just on a regular day when I hang out with myself. There's so many options. Let's say if Corona was not there, in the evening I can go buy myself dinner or buy a drink. Once in a while you have to do that. Then on Sundays I spend most of my day with my children. Because I'll go to church in the morning, in the afternoon, watch a movie, eating popcorn. So because I have to spend time with them, they're growing so fast. Yeah, but I do take myself for lunch, take a break from work, go buy lunch, or just go window shopping if I'm not doing the real shopping.
Nice. And so when you are winding up, what advice would you give to people that are trying to venture themselves into new things, or people that are still trying to get their niche, or people that have tried and have failed and they feel like now all hope is gone? What advice can you give to them?
It's good to try. And I think some of us try and give up because you realize you're not interested in that. So find your interest first, something that really excites you. Do it, but start slowly. You see, most people get excited. Like I told you, I offer training. You teach someone to bake today. The following week is buying big mixers, big oven, big. Then they realize after 1 month, they're not excited about that anymore. Maybe they took a loan to buy these things. They don't know where to sell these things. And that can happen to any business. You start big instead of watching yourself grow into what you want to be in that business. So for me, I advise people to start small. Anza tu pole pole, then with time you'll grow. But getting too excited and starting everywhere, trying to become big within an instant, you calm down.
Wow, that is a good advice. If you're wise, I know you've noted some things down. And so as we're winding up, you know, we are like preachers. We wind up several times. So where do you see Island Bakers in the next 2 or 5 years to come?
We are bound to grow. Customer, like I'm seeing our customers, the number of customers increasing. Every day, I can say so. Like every week we get new customers. Most of them I've never met. We meet online. Or they give me the orders. But I'm seeing so much growth. Yeah, because over this, that's what has happened. Since we started, we've only gone up. And I want to continue working hard. I can say I'll like slow down and say now I'm excited, I'm the boss, you guys work. No, I still do my work. And I'm hoping for more growth.
What is that one achievement that Island Bakers, specifically Island Bakers, has brought to your life?
To my life.
Or to your family?
At least it's given me something I enjoy doing, I have to say that. Because the creativity in tech is just amazing. If you are artistic and enjoy that. And I think my children too, they help me. I get them to work when they're on holiday. They take turns in working for me. So I'm teaching them something. It has given me a chance to teach my children. If I was employed, I would do that with my children. But now I'm running my own business. They're 13 now and they're 11, the other one is 5. They all come to work. Like this week one comes to work, next week the other, and I pay them. So you see, I'm teaching my kids early. To start to know how to fend for themselves.
You've just said that you pay them.
Yes, I do.
What parents wetu walikuwa wapi?
They come, tie their aprons, and work.
They work.
The
so
whole day,
when they come, it's working. Si siku ya kusumbua mama.
No, we've got to work and we work. You see, I've realized now, most people are being encouraged to do their own businesses. How do I teach these kids early? Because that's not taught in school. I've noticed that. Because I've also seen like so many people I've trained who have started their own businesses, but for me I try to encourage people just start TV, I advise them on how to go about it.
Yes.
And there's so many bakers in this town who have benefited from my training, so many. So I want to give that to my kids. They don't really have to be bakers, but that sense of responsibility. They're like, if you want something around here, you don't get it for free.
Yes.
Wow. And I pay them and they save their money in their accounts. They'll need that in future, maybe when they turn 18.
Sure,
However small it is.
Yes.
Itajaza kibabu.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
We wish that we could go on with this interview, but just promise us that when we'll call you again, you will come.
I will.
Thank you so much. So ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our program tonight. Just like I've told you that this place today that we are hosting the program is Comfy Inn, Comfy Hotel. And it's a very beautiful place. It has very classy conference halls. It has got a nice restaurant. They also have good, rooms for, kuna ile ingine inaitwa the presidential suite and the deluxe. You know, I tried sleeping there once and it was an amazing one. So when you need all these facilities, they also do outside catering. Make sure that you contact and call the numbers that will be passing on your screens. In the meantime, God bless you. Mbarikiwe sana. Looking forward to see you again. Peace.